This will be Leon Plan 4. Now, the last one I did was number 3. I gave the wrong name to it when I spoke it, but you'll see the correct name when you actually look for the title. So you'll have to overlook that stupidity on my part. Now, in this 4th section, as I mentioned, we're going to go to the section called the Apocrypha, which is in the Holy Scripture section. Now, the reason the books are the Apocrypha is because in most Bibles they are not included because they're not inspired as Scripture, they're not approved by the prophets, some are not recognized by the Jews in Scripture, and so forth. So it does have some things to say about that. So I'll read a little of that to you. It says, for example, the Old Testament prophets predicted that the next messenger would come to Israel from God would be a foreigner of Christ. Most of these books were written during the period between Malachi and Christ. Divine authority is not claimed by their authors, or by some, it is virtually disowned, like Maccabees. They contain statements of variance with the biblical history. They are self-contradictory and opposed to doctrines of Scripture. Josephus did not regard them as Scripture. He lived at the time of the apostles and stated that the present works of the Old Testament, which are in our version, were the only inspired books. See Josephus, Book 1, Section 8. They are not part of the ancient various versions of Scripture. They are added later. The Laodicean Council in 363 AD rejected them. They were first added in 300 AD by the Laconian Council in 363. They rejected them, then being not inspired, and proved that by that time they were claimed uninspired for them. The very first appear in the Vatican version of the 4th century at the Council of Trent. In 1546, the Catholics accepted 6 of these books and were inspired and added them to the modern version of Scripture. They are the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, Tobit, Judith, and 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Philo and others did not regard them as inspired. So we're going to stop here, but that is a section of what he says about the apocryphal books.